So yes, it's finally happening. We're getting a brand new class and melee weapons because it's been confirmed in this brand new blog post straight from the dev team as they talk about the future of Space Marine 2 in the next few months, plus feedback about prestige ranks. There were complaints about that from the community. We're going to dive into patch 7 as well. Check out some brand new looks at our Space Wolves, some cool cosmetics happening around weapons, and a bunch of other stuff as well. Plus, we're going to talk about that new map for PvE and PvP. We're going to dive into some things going on around that, customization, the new weapon, and of course, we are going to talk a little bit about PTS and feedback about absolute difficulty, and yes, even tap into a little bit about what's going on beyond Update 7. Yes, we're going to talk about Update 8. So a lot happening in this blog post, but you know what? Check this out right here. So guys, check this out. The Opera GX browser just got a huge update, including a massive facelift with all new features, and a big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. So the entire mod interface of Opera GX has been completely overhauled. You can easily manage all of your favorite mod effects like shaders, web modding, and speed dial effects, interface elements like wallpapers, themes, app icons, fonts, and so much more, and sounds as well, including from this cyberpunk theme. Here's what it sounds like when you type on your keyboard. And you can even set some background music. Take a listen. There's also tons of other sounds that come with many of the themes and mods in Opera GX, including tab open sounds, tab close, limiters, click, hover, tab slash, and switch. And the Cyberpunk theme also came with its own Cyberpunk wallpaper and Opera GX splash screen as well, which is really cool. And keep in mind, many of the other really cool themes and mods also include these features. It's not just limited to the Cyberpunk theme. Also, you can save your own presets. Installing themes and mods is super easy with one click, just like I did with the Cyberpunk 2077 theme, and the selection of mods and themes keeps growing with new features like light wallpapers and custom fonts for the user interface. And check out the new and improved sidebar that includes modules like the GX Control, which allows you to control RAM usage, limit CPU and network usage used by Opera. Also, the GX Cleaner lets you clean up things like cache, cookies, and browsing history with the click of a button, and there are so many additional settings too that give you full control of your Opera GX browsing experience. Also, stay up to date on the latest gaming news and updates with the all-new GX Corner, which has been completely redesigned. And I can't forget that Opera GX has an import tool that allows you to quickly import all of your settings from your previous browser to GX, like browsing history, bookmarks, and cookies. So upgrade to the best browser for gamers. Join me and download Opera GX for free by clicking on the link in the description below. And a huge thanks to Opera GX once again for supporting this video. All right, so I say we start from the beginning of the blog post with kind of a disclaimer from the dev team. Check it out right here. So yeah, they go on to say that Space Marine 3 is in development, but we have big, bold red text here that says Space Marine 3 does not mean the end of Space Marine 2's development. Far from it. No teams are shifting over, no one is abandoning the game, and our plans to bring more awesome content to Space Marine 2 remain. We are working on much more content and surprises for the months to come, such as a new class. Hell yes, that's what I wanted to hear about. More operations, melee weapons, and more. Trust us, there are surprises even data miners haven't found out about. So, highly requested stuff there has been confirmed to be in the development pipeline, which for me personally is going to be, of course, the new class and melee weapons. I want something unique. I don't want a pistol, you know? We got to get something new in there for the weapons. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's keep going here with this blog post. So yeah, the announcement about Space Marine 3, they just say, was basically marking the genesis of a new project, which is going to be years away from release. I just wanted to let you guys know that there's more Space Marine coming. So I think that was wise to get people at least a little bit hyped. But anyway, they go on to say this. We launched the PTS on March 13th, of course, and they are using feedback from that, and they will be updating PTS, of course, in early April. Now, regarding feedback on PTS features, here's some important stuff they wanted to tackle here. So, prestige perks are not a game changer. They are too weak and not worth the effort. That's what a lot of the community said. Here is what the development team responds with. They say this: prestige perks have not been conceived as game-breaking perks meant to allow you to roll on late game content. Another way to say it is that we don't want the prestige perks to be so strong they become must-haves for higher difficulties. We really want to emphasize you don't need prestige perks to be absolute difficulty, just to make grinding for them an obligation when we really want them as minor rewards for those who choose to pursue them. The idea behind prestige perks is to provide you with more replayability, so you actually have a purpose farming PvE content other than purging for the Imperium, of course. We don't want players to feel like they need to base their builds upon prestige perks, otherwise it will feel like a forced grind. Now they do bold this, saying don't forget that there's a unique cosmetic for each class to unlock once you maxed out a class. For me, that's going to be where you actually might want to grind the prestige system, of course, if the cosmetics are interesting enough, if the rewards are actually really something that we want. So yeah, I imagine that's where the community will get excited. It's just that a lot of you guys aren't excited about the perks themselves. Let's see if they say anything about that. So let's keep going here. So here's some feedback. It says prestige ranks are resetting the class progression to level 1. It will be tedious and too long to get level 25 again. Here's what the dev team says about that one. In recent updates, we've increased the amount of XP players are getting in preparation for the prestige system. We've added extermination bonus, quick match bonus, plus new difficulties grant more XP. On top of that, we'll add an XP bonus to make your post-prestige progression faster. Again, we're trying to strike the balance between having something to keep playing and not forcing players to grind for 100 hours. So it's good to note that they aren't completely ignoring that. That's kind of a band-aid to the situation, but let me know if you guys have any other thoughts on that one. Now, furthermore, we have this feedback right here. The prestige perks for the heavy class are too centered around melee combat. Here's the response. We're working on changes regarding the heavy's prestige perks to better integrate them for heavy builds. Hell yes, that definitely needed to be changed. A lot of you guys were kind of like bummed about what they were doing with heavy and those prestige perks. Also, Assault should have access to the Inferno pistol, and they do agree. They say absolutely, that's why we'll include the weapon to Assault's option starting from the next PTS update. Dude, gotta say, I really love this dev team, how they do listen to a lot of things. Not everything, of course. They have their own way of doing things, but I really do admire that they're like, hey, we'll do it for you. Don't worry about it. And we're going to talk about Update 7, of course, which is going to be releasing mid-April on all platforms. Let's get into this. So we have some fresh new looks at the Space Wolves chapter pack, and I'm going to make this bigger for you guys so you can really see this in detail. Check it out. This looks absolutely badass. Let me know what you guys think about it. Again, I do wish it was for tactical or something like that, but this gives me a real opportunity to dive into the Vanguard even more. Plus, he's getting some really cool, noteworthy changes as well. With Update 7, I did an entire video about that, but this looks really sharp. This looks nice. And then we have also customization leading into our weapons as well. This looks really nice. Some beautiful Space Wolf inspired designs here, even on, of course, our chain sword. That looks absolutely gorgeous. I gotta say, I cannot freaking wait for that. Now, that also extends to the, of course, decals and color customizations that you can expect to do for your Space Marine as well. And we also got a fresh new look at the Imperial Fist as well. They look absolutely badass. Look at some of these details, as you can see. So which one is really resonating with you guys? The Imperial Fist or the Space Wolves? Sound off in the comments down below. I myself going all in on the Space Wolves. Now, they did also highlight some new colors that will also be available, as you can see right here. And also, yes, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Inferno pistol, which I did have a chance to try that in the PTS, and it was kind of underwhelming. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't something that's like a huge game changer. I kind of wish that we would get that weapon in there where you're like, holy crap, I cannot freaking wait to use this. But still, it is a cool addition. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's good to note that we are going to be getting melee weapons. I'm so thrilled that they did confirm that today. And they did talk about the new boss that we will be facing off against in the brand new PvE map, which, by the way, I'm not showcasing the PvE map. I saw some comments from you guys recently saying, hey, Robbie, can you please not showcase too much of that gameplay because we want to, you know, experience that for ourselves. So I'm showing, you know, older gameplay for you guys. So I hope you don't mind. But anyway, for the new map for PvE, they did mention this brand new boss who can burrow itself in the ground. You can find gameplay of it on my channel you can seek that out for yourself if you want to. And your mission is quite simple, to get a tech priest out of there to safety. So here's some brand new shots of that, some new teases. And yes, our boss that we'll be facing off against. And I think that there is a proper like boss battle at the end of the operation, which we did not get to experience in the PTS. We'll see how that pans out. Kind of wondering if they're going to have that available in the next PTS update. We shall see. Now, furthermore, they go on to say that speaking of PvE, as discussed before in the PTS section, more features will be tweaked. Prestige ranks will become unlockable, and weapon class restrictions will be adjusted, allowing classes to access more weapons. Additionally, PvE matchmaking will be improved, reducing the chances of joining a team with the same class, which hopefully that works, because that would be a great change. Excellent quality of life thing there. Now, regarding PvP, Patch 7 will bring private lobbies to PvP, of course, and better team balancing. Now, private lobbies will give you the opportunity to customize your PvP experience with many adjustable options. You'll be able to tag up to 11 other players. That's 6 versus 6 lobbies, toggle friendly fire, change the class limit restriction, change the score time limit, modify the damage multipliers of the weapons, and more. And then we do have those general additions, and I don't think this is for PvP. The weapon perks rework, I believe, is for PvE, I believe. And then I did highlight those new colors, of course. Cloth coloring for Bulwark again, and hoods on every class is coming, so that's going to be cool for sure. And then options to color hands separately from arms. I highlighted that again in my recent video when I played on the PTS. Which is a nice change. So they're really going all in on the customization. And then the Inferno Pistol will be coming to Assault, Bulwark, Sniper, and Heavy class players, both in PvP and PvE. So note that. So maybe it'll be useful in PvP as well. Now, it says, cannot wait until the release in April. Try on the PTS. So the work in progress content for Update 7 can be tested out right now on the public test server. And there is going to be that update as well. And then I did go over, of course, the patch notes. I'll try to throw those patch notes for Update 7 in the description below. Now, the Mars community event is still ongoing. It is going to be ending here pretty soon on the 30th. So just know that XP rewards for both Operations and Eternal War are increased by 25%. So head back to the battlefield. Get busy, my fellow brothers. So yeah, that's a really cool event there. Now, you won't need pros for this event as well. So just note that. So that's good. Hopefully, we won't need pros at all in the future, or they streamline that even more, because that's been a pain. Now, for ideas submitted to Focus Together, they're taking feedback there, and they do have the results of the absolute difficulty polls, which they've been running some interesting polls. So here we go. It says, you voted for more enemies on absolute difficulty with a total of 74.64% votes for and 25.36% against. So you guys want more. You voted against augmenting the ammo refills limitations with a total of 24.75% votes for and 75% roughly against. Now, you also voted for more enemy aggressiveness with a total of 70% of you voting for that. And you voted for against, I should say, increasing enemy health and damage with a total of 84% against that sort of thing. Now, they go on to say, your feedback on both the absolute difficulty poll and PTS content is well taken. We are planning to make some careful changes in patch 8. So those changes would be coming later. That's it for this month. As always, I want to thank you for your dedication, and so on and so forth. So, exciting stuff happening around Space Marine 2. It's good to know, again, they aren't abandoning the game, and they are working towards building some sort of new roadmap for us for year 2 as well. That is a little bit ways off, they said. I did a recent video about that as well. So we will be getting some sort of new roadmap. Very, very curious about what that's going to lead into. But I think that's going to involve the new class and when we would be getting the new melee weapon. They're probably trying to nail down those dates. But now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It can end up right here in a future video. So let's do this. All right, so we have this one right here. We should have something like 12 operations by now. 8 is a ridiculously small number. Couldn't agree with you more. You know, I do wish, I have my own things to say. I kind of wish that the depth time put into the PvP maps would have went into additional operations at launch. That's just my personal opinion on it. I know some of you PvP players would hate for me to say that, but that's just how I feel. because it would have added a lot of longevity to the game, at least in my opinion. However, it's good to note that we are getting more operations. You did see in the blog post they said plural operations are coming, so that is good news. Next up, we also have this one right here. I tell you what, I want the art images of the mission difficulties. The one for Ruthless is so fire. I want to dress my Space Marine like that. Hell yes. And we have this game launched with a AAA price tag. It gets AAA expectations. Why does this game get a pass for what any other games would be torn apart over? I gotta see the comments on this. Exactly. Because it's 40K. All 40 games are except this one and Space Marine 1. Because the devs did not predict this game would be as successful as it was. They are now working on 2 other games, Turok and Space Marine 3, while still keeping Space Marine 2 alive. Most devs would have quit this game to focus on the sequel. You guys just love forgetting that we've been getting new ops and big changes every 2-ish months. Most games take 3 months, if not more. You're expecting too much, simply put. And you know, it's tough because I hear both sides of this. I personally wish content wasn't so drip fed, you know, and I hate to say that I wish that was more live service. That's definitely not the case, but I do wish we had more content. However, what's so crazy to me, and I think that's amazing, and kudos to the dev team for this one, is the operations have been completely free. A lot of other publishers would have been like, no matter what, you're putting a price tag on those, you know, and really overprice them. I mean, hell, if this was like under Activision, holy crap, they're probably like $100 per operation or something. But anyway, yeah, I hear both sides of the argument with that one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I wish I could read over all of your comments. Keep those comments rolling in. Definitely going to read over some more here in just a moment. But thank you guys for all the love and support, and I will see you all next time. Take care.